Imagine this. You're standing on a beautiful beach on a perfect day. The sun is warm on your skin. The waves are gently lapping at the shore, and a sense of profound peace settles over you. And then, without warning, you hear a sound. Unlike any other, a deep and terrifying rumble from the heart of the earth. You look out at the horizon, and it's gone. The ocean has pulled back, only to return as a colossal wall of water. A moving mountain range nearly 1,000 feet high, preparing to erase everything you know from memory. This isn't the opening scene of a disaster movie. This is a real, scientific warning about what could happen if a powerful earthquake strikes a slumbering giant off America's west coast, a fault line known as the Cascadia Subduction Zone. What if the raw, untamable power of our planet is meant to remind us of something deeper? What if it's a call to awaken? Welcome back to Pure Mind Think. If you are seeking to understand the deeper meaning behind the forces that shape our world, I invite you to subscribe, so we can explore these profound truths together. To understand the warning, we must first understand the threat. We are not talking about ordinary tsunamis, which might raise sea levels by a few feet. We are talking about a mega-tsunami. These are monsters of the deep, geological nightmares brought to life. Their waves don't just lap at the coast. They can rise hundreds, even 1,000 feet into the air. They don't just flood the beaches, they surge for miles inland, with incomprehensible force, smashing through buildings, twisting steel, and tearing up roads as if they were made of paper. These events are rare, but when they occur, they leave behind a legacy of devastation that echoes for generations. What could possibly unleash such power? The causes are cosmic and terrestrial in scale. Massive underwater earthquakes that violently displace the ocean floor. Colossal volcanic eruptions that cause entire islands to collapse. Gargantuan landslides that send a mountain of rock into a bay. Or even the impact of an asteroid from the heavens. This brings us to the latest study from scientists at Virginia Tech, which has sent a ripple of concern through the geological community. The study warns that there is a 15% chance of a magnitude 8.0 or greater earthquake striking the Cascadia Subduction Zone within the next 50 years. If such a massive quake were to occur, their research indicates that parts of the U.S. coastline could instantly sink by as much as 6.5 feet, dramatically lowering the land just as a wall of water is approaching, making the incoming mega-tsunami even more catastrophic. Cities like Seattle and Portland would be in the direct path of devastation. Regions as far away as Alaska and Hawaii would be at risk. This fault line, the Cascadia Subduction Zone, is one of the most dangerous in the world. It is a 700-mile-long wound in the Earth's crust, stretching from Vancouver Island in Canada all the way to Northern California, lying just 70 to 100 miles offshore. It is a place where one tectonic plate is being forced, or subducted, underneath another. For centuries, it has been locked, building up stress, accumulating energy. We know from the geological record that this sleeping giant has awakened before. It has unleashed 43 major earthquakes in the last 10,000 years. The last time it fully ruptured was on January 26, 1700. It produced a magnitude 9.0 earthquake, one of the most powerful in recorded history, and created a mega-tsunami. So massive that its waves traveled across the entire Pacific Ocean and caused destruction in Japan. For centuries, the 1700 event was a mystery. Japanese records spoke of an orphan tsunami, a huge wave that arrived without any preceding earthquake felt locally. The puzzle was solved here in America, when scientists discovered ghost forests along the coast of Washington and Oregon. Groves of dead cedar trees, all of which died at the same time. Their roots suddenly submerged in salt water as the coastline abruptly sank. By studying the tree rings and matching the evidence with the Japanese records, scientists pinpointed the exact date and confirmed that the Cascadia Subduction Zone was the culprit. It was a stark reminder that what has happened once will inevitably happen again, and history has written other warnings in the landscape for those with eyes to see. In 1958, in Lituya Bay, Alaska, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake triggered a massive landslide, dumping an entire mountainside into the narrow inlet. The result was the tallest wave ever recorded by modern man, an astonishing 1,719 feet high. The waves scoured the mountainsides, clean of all trees and vegetation up to that incredible height. Miraculously, a couple of fishing boats in the bay managed to ride the monstrous wave like a surfboard and survived to tell the tale. Today, with glaciers melting due to climate change, scientists warn that the slopes in Alaska are becoming weaker, raising the chances of more such landslides and the tsunamis they can trigger. Travel further south to Hawaii, and the land itself tells a story of even more ancient power. Around 105,000 years ago, a wave estimated to be over 1,000 feet tall slammed into the island of Lanai. How do we know? Scientists have found sea fossils, corals, shells, and marine deposits lodged high in the hills, far above where the ocean could ever reach. The cause was the catastrophic collapse of the flank of a nearby volcano. The Hawaiian Islands grow like layer cakes, and sometimes those layers become unstable and fall into the sea, displacing enough water to create some of the largest waves the planet has ever seen. These historical events, these echoes from the past, all point to a sobering truth. When the 1700 Cascadia quake struck, entire coastal communities were wiped out within minutes. There were no survivors. Today, millions of people live in these same vulnerable zones. Our modern infrastructure, our coastal cities and highways, would stand no chance against the raw power of a true mega-tsunami. Faced with this almost unimaginable power, it is natural to feel a sense of dread. Scientists are working to improve early warning systems, to build better evacuation routes, and to raise public awareness. But when it comes to the deep forces of the Earth, the shifting of continents, the eruption of volcanoes, the roaring of the sea, the truth is, it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But what if there is another way to see this? What if fear is not the only response? In nearly every ancient culture and religion around the world, there are stories of a great flood, a moment when the waters came and washed the world clean. From the story of Noah in the Bible to the Epic of Gilgamesh in Mesopotamia. From the Hindu tales of Manu to the legends of countless indigenous tribes. This shared memory of water's awesome, resetting power is etched into our collective human consciousness. Perhaps these stories are not just myths, but are a profound spiritual reminder of our place in the cosmos. They remind us that we are not the ultimate masters of this planet. The power we see in nature, as terrifying as it can be, points to the even greater power of the Creator who designed it all. The very laws of physics and geology that allow for such events are part of His intricate and awe-inspiring design. And in the scriptures, these very events, great earthquakes and the sea and the waves roaring, are described as signs. Signs that are not meant to simply terrify us, but to awaken us. They are a divine call to lift our eyes from our small, daily concerns, and to remember that there is an eternal reality. They are a call to re-evaluate what truly matters in our lives. The Bible tells us that in the last days, there will be distress among nations, with perplexity at the roaring of the sea and the waves, with people fainting from fear of what is coming upon the world. But right after this dire warning, Jesus gives this instruction: now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift your heads, because your redemption draws near. This is a radical shift in perspective. The signs that cause the world to tremble with fear should cause the believer to look up with hope. They are not signs of ultimate destruction, but signs that our Creator is preparing to intervene in human history once and for all. They are a call to prepare our hearts for the promised return of the King, who will one day restore all of creation to a state of perfect peace, where there will be no more fear, no more death, and no more tsunamis. So yes, let us be wise. Let us prepare. When you are on a coast, and the ground shakes, do not wait head for high ground, fast. But let us also engage in the more important, spiritual preparation. The ultimate safe high ground is not a physical hill, but unshakable faith in a loving and sovereign Creator. Let us use the time we have to turn away from the temporary things of this world and invest in the eternal. Let this mega-tsunami warning not be a source of anxiety, but a catalyst for awakening, a call to live each day with purpose, love, and a hopeful expectation of the glorious day to come. Thank you for joining us at Pure Mind Think. If this message has resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. And consider sharing this video with others who are seeking hope in these uncertain times. And be sure to subscribe to our channel as we continue to explore the deep truths that can set us free.